Welcome back, everyone. We're diving deep today into the life of Dr. Silvino Canuto Abreu, a prominent figure in Brazilian Spiritism.
Yeah.
We've got two great sources to guide us through his story.
That was good.
And honestly, I'm already so intrigued. This guy, Dr. Abreu, he led such a fascinating life,
He did,
dedicated to Spiritism, obviously.
of course.
But he was also a scholar,
Yes.
a researcher,
Uh-huh.
and even like a global adventurer, it seems.
It's really remarkable how closely his own personal journey is connected with the history of Spiritism.
It is. And what I find really interesting is that
Yeah.
a lot of people, maybe they don't recognize his name right away,
Right.
but he played a really key role in preserving, like researching the history of Spiritism,
He did.
especially the works of Allan Kardec.
Yeah, the founder of the movement.
Exactly.
His contributions are so valuable, especially his work on documenting the origins of the Book of Spirits,
Oh, yeah.
which is one of the,
Like the foundational texts.
foundational texts. Yeah.
Spiritism. Yeah.
Okay, so let's rewind a little bit.
Okay.
Let's start at the beginning.
Sure.
His early life, even that's extraordinary.
It is.
It is. So he's exposed to Spiritism very young.
Oh, from a very young age. I
Yeah.
mean, his family
He's a family.
included a number of mediums,
Wow.
So these spiritual phenomena, they were just a normal part of everyday life.
It's wild. And that early exposure, I mean, it really shaped how he saw the world.
For sure. For sure.
I was reading about this, the spirit of Afonso Moreira,
Mm-hmm.
who would, interact with his family.
Right.
It's just amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit funny, too, right?
Yeah.
Like dimming the gas lights,
Yeah.
rearranging furniture,
Right.
even letting all the cattle loose from the corral one time.
Oh, wow.
I know.
It really paints a picture of the environment he grew up in.
It does.
It does. One where that spirit world
Yeah.
was a tangible presence.
Yeah.
And you can see how that kind of upbringing would foster.
The natural acceptance of spiritual phenomena for Dr. Abreu.
Absolutely. And it seems like that acceptance fueled his lifelong curiosity.
It did.
Not just for Spiritism,
Right.
but for a lot of different academic pursuits, too.
He had a thirst for knowledge.
Yeah, the sources talk about his just incredible intellectual capacity.
Yeah.
Imagine becoming a pharmacist at 17.
That's quite a feat.
Yeah.
And that was just the beginning.
Just the beginning. He goes on to earn degrees in law and medicine, too.
Mm.
This guy's incredible.
This tells us a lot about, his drive,
Yeah.
to excel in multiple disciplines.
It's amazing, but beyond all the achievements, the intellectual stuff,
Yeah.
he was also really committed to using his knowledge to help others.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, I was particularly struck by his philanthropic work with the Asociación Femenina Beneficente y Instructiva,
Right, where he helped
where he helped abandoned children.
abandoned children.
Yeah, it highlights that core principle of Spiritism, right? To use your knowledge and your skills to serve others.
And to make the world a better place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like that theme of service. It's
Yeah.
woven throughout his life.
Throughout, yeah.
Speaking of his diverse interests,
Yes.
let's talk about this passion he had
Okay.
for historical research, especially, when it came to Spiritism.
Yeah.
He traveled so much,
He did.
visited these prestigious libraries, museums around the world.
It's almost like a global treasure hunt,
Yeah.
Going to the British Museum, the Vatican,
Wow.
the National Library of France.
Like a movie.
I know, right? Searching for these original documents
Yeah.
related to Spiritism.
So what stands out to you as particularly unique or important about the materials that he collected?
His collection became like this gold mine
Yeah.
for understanding the origins of Spiritism,
Wow.
Original manuscripts,
Yeah.
letters
Yeah.
written by Allan Kardec himself,
Wow.
first editions of key Spiritist texts.
That's incredible.
These primary sources, they offered invaluable insights into the early development of the movement.
So he's got this incredible collection now.
He does.
What's he going to do with it?
Well, his initial plan
Yeah.
was to donate the whole thing
Makes sense.
to the Federação Espírita Brasileira,
Okay.
which is also known as the FE, the main Spiritist organization in Brazil.
Okay.
He envisioned it as a resource for the entire Spiritist community.
Right. But then he hesitated.
He did. He had some concerns.
What was he worried about?
I think he was worried about the practicalities,
Yeah. Like, would they?
Would they be able to care
Yeah.
for such a valuable collection?
Yeah.
Would they make it accessible
Yeah.
to researchers and scholars?
That makes sense. You pour your heart and soul into building something so unique. Of course, you want to make sure it's
Sure.
handled properly.
Exactly.
So, to get some guidance, he turns to a rather interesting source, the renowned Brazilian spiritist medium Chico Xavier. So, through Chico Xavier, he consults the spirit Emmanuel for advice. He's seeking advice from the spirit world.
I know, it's fascinating.
On how to proceed with this collection. What did they recommend?
Emmanuel advised patience.
Oh.
Yeah, he said the time wasn't quite right to share it publicly.
Oh, okay.
That there would be a better moment in the future.
So he's waiting for the right moment, but he's not just letting these documents sit there?
No, not at all.
What's he doing?
He's diligently transcribing them, translating them, adding his own commentary to provide context, deeper understanding.
Wow.
You know, this allowed him to, like, immerse himself in the material and really get a deeper understanding of its significance.
And this is where his most significant contribution to Spiritist history kind of emerges.
It does.
It's not the collection itself.
Right.
It's actually his series of articles titled The Book of Spirits and Its Historical and Legendary Tradition.
Published in the Spiritist newspaper Unificação. Yeah. In these articles, he's meticulously piecing together the events surrounding the launch of Allan Kardec's The Book of Spirits.
It's a vivid historical account of this pivotal moment in Spiritism's development.
It sounds like he had a real talent for making history come alive.
He did.
You know?
Yeah.
What kind of insights did these articles reveal?
Well, they provided a nuanced understanding of the context in which the book emerged, the challenges Kardec faced, the triumphs, the early reception of his ideas.
It's amazing to think that his research really helped to shape
it did.
The understanding of Spiritism for so many people.
For sure.
It's a real labor of love.
Absolutely.
Fueled by his passion.
Yes.
For history and Spiritism.
It really is remarkable, but this is where the story takes a little bit of a turn, wouldn't you say?
It does. There's a bit of a shadow cast over this period.
Yes.
Leading up to the 1957 centennial celebration of the Book of Spirits.
Dr. Abreu was very involved, right?
He was deeply involved.
Yeah.
He worked with other prominent Spiritists, including Jose Herculano Pires, to produce this special bilingual edition.
Okay, so this seems like a momentous occasion.
Yeah, a real collaborative effort.
Yeah.
You know.
To celebrate.
Yeah.
A key text in the Spiritist movement.
Absolutely.
But then there was a controversy.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Despite the celebratory atmosphere, Herculano Pires actually later criticized Dr. Abreu's translations.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Accusing him of making doctrinal distortions.
Wow. That's a pretty serious accusation.
It is.
Especially within a spiritual community.
Yeah, absolutely.
What were these doctrinal distortions?
Well, Herculano Pires, in his critique, argued that Dr. Abreu's translation downplayed the role of reincarnation.
Oh.
Which is, of course, a core belief in Spiritism.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
So this led to a pretty significant disagreement, you know, because Herculano Pires felt that Dr. Abreu's interpretation deviated from the true essence of Kardec's message.
So this wasn't just about, like, translation style or something. This was about
fundamental principles.
Fundamental principles of Spiritism.
Exactly.
And that public criticism really affected Dr. Abreu.
It had a profound impact on him.
I can't even imagine how hurtful that must have been.
Devastating.
You put so much of yourself into this project, and to be accused of misrepresenting the very thing that you're so devoted to.
It's a tough blow.
What happened next? How did he respond?
Sadly, he decided to withdraw from the movement.
Oh.
Yeah, and he chose to keep his collection private.
Really?
Yeah, he was deeply hurt by the criticism.
I understand.
Especially coming from someone he respected.
Yeah. It's a reminder that even within these communities driven by these shared beliefs, there can be conflict.
There can be, yeah.
Disagreements.
It happens.
And sometimes they have a really big impact.
They do.
On people.
For sure.
And this is where we'll pause for now.
Okay.
When we return, we'll see what happened to his collection after his passing.
Sounds good. It's
really sad that all this led to Dr. Abreu kind of stepping back from the Spiritist movement.
It is.
You really feel his,
disappointment.
His disappointment, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially knowing how much he dedicated himself to preserving and sharing this history.
Right.
Makes you wonder what could have been.
Yeah, it really does.
If things had been different.
Yeah, it makes you think about, like, human relationships.
Yeah.
Even in a community with shared spiritual beliefs.
For sure, but like you said, the story doesn't end there.
It doesn't.
Dr. Abreu, he passed away in 1980.
Right.
But what happened to his collection?
His remarkable collection.
Yeah.
Well, for a while, his family kept it private.
Okay.
But then something really incredible happened.
Oh.
At the 2004 Spiritist World Congress in Paris.
Okay.
It was the bicentennial celebration of Allan Kardec's birth. And during this Congress, the medium Raul Teixeira psychographed a message.
Now, for those who maybe aren't familiar,
Right.
psychography is when a medium writes messages believed to be from spirits.
Yeah, exactly.
So who was this message from?
It was attributed to the spirit of Dr. Canuto Abreu himself.
Whoa, that's...
I know,
it gives me chills.
yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Even after his passing, he's still connected.
Yeah, his connection to Spiritism remained strong.
So what did the message say?
The message spoke of Allan Kardec's legacy
Okay.
as a legend of light and moral strength.
Wow.
And it emphasized the role of Spiritism
Yeah.
in human regeneration.
It's like even after his withdrawal,
Uh-huh.
his spirit was reaffirming
Yeah.
the value of this, of spiritism.
Absolutely, the importance of its message.
Yeah, it's incredibly moving. Did this message have any impact
It did.
on what happened to the collection?
It seems like it really acted as a catalyst.
Oh, okay.
You know, there was renewed interest in Dr. Abreu's work
Okay.
and a stronger desire to share it.
Okay.
And this led to discussions about setting up a museum
To house his collection.
to house his vast collection, yeah.
Okay. Was there a particular museum they had in mind?
Initially, there were talks with the Museo Espírita de São Paulo,
Okay.
Dr. Paulo Toledo Machado,
Mm-hmm.
who was really instrumental in establishing that museum.
Right.
He envisioned it as a space
Yeah.
to really showcase,
Yeah.
the history of Spiritism in Brazil.
Dr. Abreu's collection would have been a perfect fit.
You would think so, right?
Yeah.
They even had plans for a special wing
Oh, wow.
to display his materials,
Look.
but ultimately it didn't work out.
Oh, what happened?
Dr. Abreu's family,
Uh-huh.
represented by his grandson, Leon Abreu Duarte,
Okay.
they weren't satisfied with the arrangements.
Really?
Yeah.
So they withdrew the collection.
Yeah, they decided to withdraw it.
That's disappointing. It seemed like such a great chance
It did.
to share his work.
With a wider audience.
Yeah. Does that mean the museum idea was just totally abandoned?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
Remember that advice?
Yeah.
From the Spirit Emmanuel.
Be patient.
To be patient, wait for the right moment.
Okay.
It seems that moment finally came
Okay.
when Leon Abreu Duarte connected with the Fundação Espírita André Luiz,
Okay. Also known as Feel, right?
also known as Feel, yeah.
So what was it about Feel that made them a better fit?
Well, Feel, unlike the museum,
Uh-huh.
focused mainly on research
Okay.
and the preservation of Spiritist history. So they were like really uniquely positioned
Yeah.
to understand and appreciate the value
Yeah.
of Dr. Abreu's work.
Right. So much better aligned with his vision.
Exactly. They agreed to create a dedicated department
Oh, wow.
called the Centro de Documentação e Obras Raras,
Okay.
or CDO,
Okay.
specifically to house and catalog his collection.
So that's it. Happy ending for his life's work.
It was a big step forward, but the story gets even more interesting.
Oh.
Through Feel, the collection ended up at the Federal University of Juiz de Fora.
A university.
I know, right?
What would a university do with all this?
This is where it gets really impactful.
Right.
The university launched the Allan Kardec Project.
Okay, tell me more about this project.
This project is dedicated to digitizing,
Okay.
transcribing, translating,
Uh,
and most importantly, making all those materials freely available.
Wait, so anyone
Anyone with internet access.
can see these documents?
Exactly. They've made this treasure trove of history accessible to everyone.
That's incredible. His dream of sharing this knowledge
no, it's amazing.
with a wide audience
It's finally been realized
has come true.
in such an incredible way.
It really shows the power of dedication, preservation, sharing knowledge.
Absolutely. It's all thanks to, a series of fortunate connections.
Yeah.
His grandson, the dedication of Feel, the vision of the university.
This is so inspiring.
It is.
It shows how one person's passion can impact not just a movement,
Mm,
but our understanding of history.
absolutely.
Who knows what's hidden in those archives, waiting to be discovered?
That's the exciting part.
Yeah.
The endless possibilities, this vast knowledge waiting to be explored.
Thinks you think about research, preservation,
Mm-hmm.
and that spirit of sharing.
Sharing, yeah.
And this is where we'll pause for now.
Okay.
When we return, we'll look at some of the key takeaways from his journey.
That's good.
And what his story means for the future of Spiritism. It's really amazing to think about how far Dr. Abreu's dedication reached.
It is.
His story really shows, like, the power of passion,
Yeah.
perseverance.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It reminds us that one person's commitment to knowledge
Yeah.
can have a huge impact.
Yeah, and sometimes in ways we don't even expect.
Right. Exactly.
It also shows how important collaboration is.
It does.
Like finding the right people to help you achieve your vision.
Yeah, the family preserving the collection.
Yeah.
Fields dedication to research. The university creating the Allan Kardec project.
It's like a team effort.
It really is.
It really is, and it's a great example of how,
Yeah.
even after setbacks,
Right. Disappointments.
Dr. Abreu's work still made it out into the world.
It did.
And it's enriching our understanding of Spiritism.
It really is. And its history.
This deep dive has been so interesting.
It has.
What stands out to you most about his journey?
For me, it's how his story is so connected to how Spiritism itself has evolved.
Yeah.
You know, from his childhood with mediums
Yeah.
to searching for historical documents all over the world to the Allan Kardec project. It really reflects the dynamic nature of this movement.
Yeah.
The constant search for knowledge, you know.
It's not just about the past.
No, it's not.
It's about opening up new ways to explore, well, the human experience.
Absolutely.
Consciousness. The possibility of talking to the spirit world.
It's really fascinating.
It is. It makes you want to question, explore, go deeper.
Exactly, yes.
If you're interested in what you've heard today, check out the Allan Kardec Project online.
Yeah, it's a great resource.
It really is. Freely available. Just search Allan Kardec Project.
You'll be amazed by what you find.
You will. Dr. Canuto Abreu's story reminds us that the search for knowledge is a journey.
It is.
With unexpected turns.
For sure.
But it's a journey worth taking.
Absolutely.
So keep exploring, keep asking questions.
Yeah.
Never lose that curiosity.
That spark.
That spark, exactly. Until next time.
Yeah.
Happy diving.